Do you want to learn classical music but just don't know where to start? You are at the right place. This is an early intermediate piano masterclass. We will be going over A Pleasant Morning by Streabbog. This early intermediate piano tutorial is for those of you learning grade 4 piano right now. So if that is you, watch this video. This piece is great because it sounds a little bit harder than it actually is, and that makes it so much fun to play. We have some faster notes that you can practice, but at the same point, learning the notes is not that difficult. So let me tell you the things that make this piece a little bit easier. Give you a couple practice tips to help you play this piece better and play the piece for you at the end so that you have a reference. So first of all, this piece is a little bit easier because it is built on the C major scale. It is in the key of C major, which means there are no sharps or flats. So that is wonderful. You don't have to worry about any sharps or flats at the same point and be able to play some of the fast notes here. Number 2, the C major scale is pasted all over this piece. And if you already know this C major scale, then you are at a great advantage here. So let's look at measure 1. Really just the C major scale going up with the same exact fingering. And that sounds beautiful because of the way it's played. It's that piano, crescendo to mezzo piano and diminuendo in measure 2 that makes it sound like a beautiful phrase. In measure 3, it's the C major scale starting on a G. And then in measure 6 and 7, it's the C major scale just going up and down. So we have the C major scale so many times in those few measures, and they are beautiful because of those crescendo diminuendos. Measure 7, you have to read the music a little bit more because it goes off of that pattern a little bit. But still, the first half of the measure and the second half of the measure is a sequence, so that helps a little bit. Then if we skip over to measure 17 to measure 24, carefully compare that to measure 1 to 8. It's exactly the same. And having those patterns, knowing where those repeating sections are, can help you learn very well. So that's number 3. You have an exactly repeating section. And then go back to number 2 here. In the left hand, we have the C major scale starting on a G in measure 25. So that right there was C major scale starting on a G, then C major scale starting on a C, and then C major scale starting on a G again. But really just the C major scale. Let's peek at measure 9 through measure 16. This section is a little bit harder. You really do have to read the notes well in this section, but let's see if there are any patterns that we can find. Measure 9 and measure 13 are the same. Then measure 10 and measure 14 are the same. And in all those measures, we end on a G, even though the other notes are different. That helps a little bit. And then measure 11 and measure 12 are somewhat similar. So what I would pay attention to here is that we start on a D, and we keep coming back to that D, and then we start on a C, and keep coming back to that C. And then measure 15 and 16, these might be the hardest for you when learning this piece. So we're going to start on a D, we're going up by step to F, down by step to G, up by step, and really just up and down by step. So technically it's a disguised C major scale. It's going up and down. So what I would want you to do here is circle all the turnaround notes. So the notes where it's going up and then it starts going down, that's your turnaround note. Circle those for yourself and know where those are so that when you're playing, you don't go past that note. Now for some practice tips for this piece. When you're playing this piece, if you are having trouble playing with a steady beat, then try practicing it with staccato. And you can do it slowly. just for the eighth notes. Tip number 2, try to play this expressively. So first of all, what I mean by that, can you balance the right hand and the left hand? Can you make the right hand just a little bit louder than the left hand? And that way we can hear that melody. And then at the end, the left hand has a melody. Can you make that left hand a little bit louder than the right hand? And then tip number 3, all these dynamic marks written here, do your best to express them as best as you can, because this will take it from just playing a regular C major scale, a regular exercise, to a beautiful phrase and a beautiful piece. Thank you so much for watching this piano masterclass about A Pleasant Morning by Streabbog. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more piano masterclasses like this. Remember, this is the first in the series Easy Classical Piano Music that you can play. Comment below to let me know that you will be watching the next one. Each of these videos will be coming out on Monday morning. I will see you next time.